Hey there, my name is Przemek, and in this video I will talk about two recent Cryo Chamber releases, NoRinTon Leviathan and Underwater Sleep Orchestra, Other Sides of Nowhere. It's been a while since I was talking about Cryo Chamber on the channel, so it is time to change that, especially since the label has released a couple of interesting releases over the past few months, and recently my attention has been drawn to those two albums, NoRinTon and Underwater Sleep Orchestra. First, NoRinTon and the album Leviathan. NoRinTon is a project I know absolutely nothing about, well, except it's led by Alireza Fatemi Jahanabadi, who, according to Bandcamp, resides in Berlin, but the name itself makes me think that the musician comes from Iran, which wouldn't surprise me, as Iran has a very strong ambient electronic scene. Alphaxone, Xerxes the Dark, Dödenskalt. There was also this great ambient IDM project, Idlephone. I wonder what's going on with them, and that's just the tip of the iceberg. But whether NoRinTon can actually be described as Iranian project, I don't know. Just like I don't know what the name of the project means, but that's irrelevant. For Cryo Chamber standards, it's a rather light music, somewhere between ambient and post-rock, sometimes with traces of classic space electronica from the 70s. The overall atmosphere is cosmic, as the musician presents the listener with a vision of space travel into the unknown, searching for a habitable planet, and it all has a kind of a feeling of a grand adventure and mystery, a bit like classic explorative science fiction novels. And despite all this, I don't sense any darkness here. It's a kind of music that makes me feel like if first contact would have ever occurred, Alireza would be more curious and hopeful than fearful of annihilation by an alien race. And generally, when I listen to Leviathan, I feel like I want to start playing No Man's Sky again. That's the vibe of this music, more or less. Beauty, the awe of communing with an unknown planet or civilization, breathtaking flora and fauna, but also a sense of loneliness and being a microscopic speck in the universe. I always loved that in No Man's Sky, standing on this the beginning, you are on this planet next to your space ship, which is kind of broken or something, and the only traces of another sentient presence are the other spaceships that occasionally fly over your head, somewhere on the sky. And musically, this album also shares certain similarities with the No Man's Sky soundtrack, as it's similarly mellow form of ambient with, like I said, elements of post-rock, like the music of 65 Days of Static, but also sometimes I hear echoes of, say, BV Dub. Sometimes some passage reminds me of early Shrine or early Dahlia still, or the much lamented Mount Shrine, which I still consider Cryo Chamber's greatest discovery ever. Nothing new under the sun, but experiencing Leviathan is truly enjoyable and rewarding. This was the first review, NoRinTon Leviathan. And the second one is Underwater Sleep Orchestra and the album Other Sides of Nowhere. Underwater Sleep Orchestra is an American-Swedish duo of two musicians we all know, love and appreciate. Per Bostrom of Kammerheit, City's Last Broadcast, and several other projects, and Bruce Moalem of God Bad Disconnect. This is their third album recorded under the name Underwater Sleep Orchestra. It's a follow-up to The Night and Other Sunken Dreams and In Somnolence. Now a quote: crafted with synthesizers and pedals, tape recorders and field recordings, all music has been processed through VHS tape for fans of dreamy, retro, atmospherics and VHS drifting. This is how the label encourages you to check out this album. Briefly, but accurately. Because even before I read this description, when I first listened to this album, it evoked a kind of retro nostalgia in me, which can be interpreted in two ways. As a longing for youth, for carefree times, as an immersion in memories that are beautiful, somewhat idealized, but also distorted and fading with time and memory, just like with each playback of a VHS tape, the quality deteriorates to a greater or lesser extent, and until you transfer such a recording to a digital format, it will deteriorate until it becomes completely impossible to watch. However, you can do that with tape, but memories can't be saved digitally yet. And while all these memories may be beautiful and heartwarming, they are shrouded in a certain undefined darkness, the result of bad or unfortunate decisions you once made, and the decisions that shaped where you are today, and which, had they been made differently, would have led to a better life. And the second aspect of this album is a kind of retro nostalgia in relation to pop culture. At least that's how I perceive it. I sometimes miss the imperfection of VHS video and sound. I miss the magic of 8-bit video games, even that squeaking and gnashing sounds when loading from a cassette like Boulder Dash or River Ride on my Atari 800 XL. Sure, you can play them on emulators now, and I often do, but it's not the same. I even miss the sound of connecting to the internet via modem. And I'm sure that if all the technical possibilities I have now were taken away from me, and I had to go back to the often tormented grind of these old machines, I wouldn't be so happy. But generally speaking, I understand all those retro geeks who play with those old computers and derive such a pleasure from interacting with them. And I miss old movies and TV shows, or rather my perception of them as a child or a teenager. The mystery that truly hid in every episode of X-Files or Twin Peaks. And now there will be another pop culture reference, because both of these themes, both of these aspects I perceive Underwater Sleep Orchestra album are also present in last year's film I Saw the TV Glow, which in a strange way reminded me of Other Sides of Nowhere. It's like a dark childhood memory, both soothing and unsettling. A memory of the darkness of your room, barely illuminated by a glow of the TV screen, a memory of back then creepy, today naive stories that were your whole life back then, and the memory of the friends you shared with these experiences with, friends who are no longer with us. All of this is also present in on Underwater Sleep Orchestra's latest offering. This stems from the creative concept these artists have chosen for their music. Sure, today I don't talk much about the music because what can I say? It's a melancholic ambient, infused with a touch of darkness, atmospherically rather closer to God-Body Disconnect than Hammerhide. Sorry, and this very cool retro feel where you can actually feel that this music was kind of passed through VHS tape, and you can still hear those specific hisses and crackles in the background. And the tracks are quite short, sometimes giving the impression of being torn from a larger whole, just like memories. You remember a specific moment, but you can't quite recall what happened a moment before or a moment after. And this is the music that should be experienced with soul, not with mind. Turn off the analytical thinking and see where those sounds take you, whether they actually take you back in time like they did with me, or perhaps somewhere else entirely. You can have completely different feelings, experiences, emotions. Regardless of all this, this is, in my opinion, Underwater Sleep Orchestra's best album, up to date. Yeah, that would be everything for today. Thanks for watching and see you soon.